After School Special Podcast. After School Special Podcast. After School Special Podcast. After School Special Podcast.
Come close to the fire. Hear the crackle, the burning of the wood. Little orange sparks flying up. Don coming with the cocoa. Jack-o'-lantern off to the side. Me getting marshmallows on sticks. Don and I are about to make s'mores. S'more what? S'mores. So, everyone, welcome to After School Special Podcast. Spooktacular episode!
Well, did you know that Michigan is considered a hotspot for the supernatural?
Whole state is weirder than people give it credit for.
He says Michigan is full of life when it comes to the dead.
We have more boats and planes disappear in the Great Lakes than in the Bermuda Triangle.
The most haunted places in Michigan? Detroit comes in at number 1. At number 2, Traverse City, which...
It also has a huge amount of UFO sightings.
At number 3, Grayling.
We're now to a real-life ghost story involving a haunted house in Highland. One family says the spooky image was captured on a baby monitor, and when the parents checked on their little girl, they say she had been scratched.
So on this episode of After School Special Podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about our memories with haunted houses. Not the ones where you go and there's Leatherface chasing after you with a fake chainsaw, or, Jason in the woods coming after you on a haunted hayride. No, we're talking actual scary haunted houses, which I know, Don, I don't know if you have a lot of stories. You had told me before in the past that black people don't really do that kind of stuff.
I must have said something I wasn't supposed to say last episode that I said that on, but I actually have an experience last night that for a second I'm not going to even say it. We'll talk about it later.
Ghost teabag ya?
Close. I don't know what I saw. And I was watching the worst possible thing you will want to watch in that situation that I'm afraid to even say, but I'm going to do it for the audience. I'm going to do it for you guys, Latchkey
I
kids.
would say that, yes, our Latchkey kids and broken homies, welcome home. That's one thing that I wanted to actually start putting out there. Welcome home. Because you know what? Churches do that. And what are we? We're a cult. Or no, we're a church. We still have to pay taxes and stuff like that. But still, welcome home. I think that is the most disturbing thing out of it. It's like, that's not my home. It's a big fucking steeple where you take my money and you put it in your fucking pocket, pieces of shit.
What do you
Anyways,
mean? They give back.
Do they?
Hot take.
No.
Oh, cold take. No take.
Yeah.
They take.
Well, hey, so if you are religious, so recently something happened to me where, a family member or whatnot wasn't feeling great, and we were pretty worried there for a second. So what I ended up doing was, talking with God and being like, hey, if you make sure that this person, you just give them 30 more years or something like that, I will go to church every Sunday / maybe Monday if I can. Otherwise, I will go online and I will do it then, and I will do it on my lunch break. I made that promise and I will keep that promise. But because of that, I want to start being a little more positive and posting to people. Like if I see the other podcasts that follow us, if, stuff is going south, I like to like all their stuff now. I really want to do what other podcasts have done for us, or other, fans listening have done for us, like Quad Pro Quo, Detroit Land Vending, Doom Generation, which we've mentioned, and I put out a post there thanking them for their support. Pods Are Us, who is doing the Lord's work and giving us a platform and showing our stuff, and we've gotten a couple people that follow us from that, so we're getting more people in there.
Wild Nights with Rocky Powell. I forgot to shout her out. What am I trying to say?
Shout?
Thank you. Oh my God.
Shout?
Speaking of edibles, I forgot to shout her out last time on the podcast.
We do come from Detroit, everyone. But
no, that was just residue of drugs.
Yeah, so the experience that I had, And this person in general, I'm not going to say who it was, but is very enlightened when it comes to the other side. Has always been. I never really believed it until I started ghost hunting in high school. And this person was very enlightened and explained a lot of stuff to me as a teenager, the spirit world and how it reflects on us and whatnot, and what we see can be projected by, you know, our fears and whatnot. So it's like a lot of the time when I go to haunted places, I see spiders with massive dongs and commitment issues, because those are my fears.
You project your fears on spiders?
Spiders and massive dongs. Which, you know, I just, you know, it's not that I have a it's not that I have a time.
You're doing a lot of doxing of is that what they call it? Doxing yourself?
Oh, no, see, that's the thing. That's the thing is self-humiliation is my kink. So as soon as that happens, I'm asking someone to step on my balls. You know, it's going on right now. Come on, do it. So, anywho, let's get into the spookiness. We're in the spooky season. You know, we had that episode last year on pumpkin spice and white girl things, you know, as to Ugg boots, plaid, guys, you know, wearing yellow leather gloves with red plaid and those hats that are kind of pushed back that shows you know, your cool hair or whatnot. I'm talking about myself.
Yeah, that's the accurate description of you.
Yes.
But people should also listen to that episode. It was a good forgotten episode that really got no plays. But
yeah,
we did do it in August, which was that was me. I didn't quite understand that. I think the original plan was to release it in October, but we ran out of episodes. Yeah. Or we took time off. But my point is,
no more time off, bro.
Never. My point is, people, you listening right now, you exercising, you listening to us while you're at work when you're not supposed to. Listen to our older episodes that nobody listened to because they didn't know us. You didn't know us. Listening right now, listen to Pumpkin Spice, the episode where we talked about our memories, our childhood memories, going trick-or-treating and doing all that crazy stuff. That came out last year, August, which was not smart in hindsight, but also...
Hey, we're still learning.
Yeah, we're still learning. We're late on the game of reminding people to listen to our older episodes. So go and do that after you listen to this new one. And then also we have a new voice message system. Our link is available in the description. We forgot to say that last time in case people didn't really understand what that Call Us episode was about. So do that. Click that link. It goes straight to the site where you can just press record. It's easy. Takes 2 seconds. Send us a nice message. Also, when you rate us on Apple Podcasts, I was reminded, if you just put 5 stars and you don't leave a comment, it doesn't register. So it could have been millions of people giving us 5 stars, but it doesn't matter because if you don't say anything, it doesn't register. So I
just say I or pee pee poo poo in pee pee caca land. You know, it's yes.
So rate us 5 stars and say pee pee
poo poo caca land.
Yes, and then we'll know that you appreciate us and you've listened to this episode and you understand.
If you ever see someone like your stuff and write a review by the name of Cool Dude 69420, that is me.
Cool Dude.
Cool Dude 69420. It's really funny when people post it because you see Cool Dude 69420. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. Anywho.
Now that we got that business out the way, I wanted to clarify those things because I've done it myself. Mm-hmm. I've gave 5 stars. I've looked for my comment in said podcast or whatever I was listening to, and I didn't see it. And I was like, what? What happened? And then I started leaving reviews, and sure enough, that's what did it. So just putting 5 stars isn't enough. You got to like put ... or something. I don't care. Put squishy boo boo.
Put ... Yeah, do like one of those ooh things where it's the U and the W and the U. It's the Japanese, whatever. The ooh.
And leave us a voice message, and we'll post it at the end of the episode, like a compilation of people who have said something, and I'll put it at the end. Or we'll put an ad in. Well, yeah.
You can say whatever you want as long as you're not threatening to, blow up anything in the country, do anything illegal, say that you're going to, possibly murder someone, because then we would have to turn that into the police.
But
all the dick and fart jokes you want, let us know how we're doing. Let us actually, I think the whole reasoning for do this, let us know kind of what you want to hear. I'm willing to go any which way, up, down, side to side, back and forth. That sounds like a Julio song, R.I.P.
He's a ghost.
Oh, and let's not forget DMX.
If you hear barking in the dark, that's never.
That's DMX. What you really want from it?
Hey babies, you liking the show? Well, thanks. Leave a 5-star rating and a comment, please. Do you want to see the guys' faces? Well, they got YouTube videos. It comes out every Wednesday before the episode comes out on Friday. You can watch this podcast on any major platform you listen to. Rate 5 stars and comment. Thanks, babies.
So, as most of you know, it's spooky season, and we're going to talk ghost hunting, or at least experiences that we've had with ghosts or the paranormal. So you got to put on those headphones, smoke a big fat ghostly blunt, and sit back. So first and foremost, I am going to put kind of a list together as to the haunted places that I knew of or where I have been. So, Masonic Temple. And Don, you've been there before, right?
No.
You've never been to the Masonic Temple? Not for a show or anything like that?
No, I still haven't. I know.
So, I've been there once. And it was for like a party for this thing called Theater Bazaar that happens every year. The Masonic Temple is a place in downtown Detroit, a Masonic lodge, more or less, if you know what the Masons are. Oh, where is it near? It's by a freeway? Crazy how the freeways all lead to Masonic temples. Isn't that weird? Anywho,
no.
The Masonic Temple is this big fucking temple that was built back in the day. I can't even say. It probably had to have been 1800s. I don't think so. But in Detroit, the Egyptians came to Detroit and built the Masonic Temple.
They built the pyramids.
Yeah, but that's kind of, those are two really son of a bitch separate things there, bud. It's that's like the beginning, that's the cradle of civilization, and then this is, a fucking homeless dude taking a dump on the stairwell of the Masonic Temple.
It's been a long week, man. I don't know. I just thought maybe
well,
they bought...
the Masonic Lodge, it has Masons. I think they do have some history with that as to, and we've talked about Aleister Crowley and how much shit he shoved up his ass and opened a portal to hell in his ass.
Yeah. And let the Green Ranger come through. What'd you say?
No, the Green Man. Okay, the Green Man. Anyways, we're not going to get into that right now. This is not that kind of podcast. That's for my other podcast. Anywho, back to ghosts. The Masonic Temple is this massive temple that has these different rooms. The architect, and I can't remember his name, he built this place, building more and more rooms, built upon it, and he ended up going bankrupt and jumped off of the Masonic Temple, committing suicide. So I have never personally, I've gone through some of these secret passageways. It's really fucking crazy. It is a maze in there. You could get lost and not be found for a couple days, which is kind of scary. Okay, so supposedly all over Detroit there are tunnels.
Yes.
And I think we've spoke about this before. I know in Highland Park there used to be like a subway area where there were stores and everything, and I've heard it from multiple people that lived in the area. Some of the old timers that were helping out were talking to me about
the old
it.
train station. Oh, near there? Yeah.
And when they were younger, they would go down there and kind of look at it, but there were these storefronts that were down there. It was crazy. Anyways, a lot of people say some of these tunnels lead to the Masonic Temple.
Well, the Underground Railroad, they had tunnels. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it was that. I think I heard something about the Revolutionary War. They had tunnels when they were like doing not trade routes, but doing, something like that.
Underground Railroad stuff too, to get to Canada. The other thing with that, Detroit, if you look at it on a map, it looks like a big pinwheel. It looks like a wheel, the way that it's set up. And a lot of these areas, like they're saying that there are tunnels underneath leading to the Masonic Lodge.
So is that why we're called the Motor City?
We're called the Motor City because
Not the
everyone
Motors.
drives cars and they don't want to have a mass transit system here, even though mass transit works in big cities, and they don't know how to fill fucking potholes. Motor City, Detroit, Michigan.
These streets are spooky. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, they are. They're not spooky. They're dangerous. You fucking go near a pothole and you just go, hey, 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 hey. That's what it is. Detroit roads, the best in the country. Motor City. That's the Lions.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, let's not talk about them. Okay.
Spooky.
So that's the Masonic Temple. You know, when I was there, I kind of got a tour. You go to these places and you get these chills. You just kind of feel a presence. You felt off, and like your story at the end, because your story is going to be told at the end because it's very special, because black people don't like ghosts, right?
No, we don't. And yeah,
Or at least white hoods.
it literally just happened. Hey, anybody listen? It happened literally last night, which will be a week later when you hear this. But whatever.
Yep, but spooky. That I want to hear it too. I want you to spook me the fuck out because I want chills. I'm going to try to give you chills. I want to see if you get chills on some of these stories that some of the stuff that I did. The Albrecht House off of 25 in Gratiot. This place, and I know I've talked about it before on here, this place is the only place where I felt terrified for my life, that I was going to lose my life. We go into this house. It is shrubs everywhere. There's a garage over to the right. There was no way to get into the garage. The garage, so if you're looking at it, it looks like it's a 2-level house, 2 windows up top, probably bedrooms, 2 windows down, kitchen off to the right when you're staring at it, and a living room off to the left. A detached garage on the right-hand side. There was a group of us that went there. When we went there, there was a well. Just a well. We would drop stuff in there. You couldn't hear a fucking thing when you dropped it. We dropped stones. You couldn't hear anything. This thing went down.
You dropped a stone?
Yeah. Is that a weight joke? Is that
I
a fat
joke? Okay. Yeah, you dropped things down there. I'm sorry.
So we go in, and my buddy at the time, who he had passed away recently, we had gone in together, taking photos with our digital cameras, being these like ghost hunter types. I got into this big time. So we're going in, and of course, everyone was pushing me forward to go first. Like, this is your fucking idea. So I'm going first. We're looking around. People are going upstairs. I hear something crash upstairs as everyone's kind of looking around. And I go up there, and my buddy kicked over the chair that was up there.
You're not supposed to do that.
You are not supposed to do that. Any house you go, you see a chair, or any building you go into, a chair that is sitting up. You do not touch that chair. You do not go into that room. You leave that room. Well, he decided to kick the chair because he thought it was hilarious. And then all of a sudden, we're all kind of upstairs and we hear and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Is that our friend? I think it was Jen. Her name was Jen. Is that Jen outside? Like, who else is outside? And my buddy was like, everyone's inside. Everyone is literally in this room right now. And I'm like, what? Jen, you're here? Go downstairs. And I'm like, we need to get out of here. Rob, pick up the chair. Put it down. Let's go. He picks up the chair. He puts it back. We start walking down. I trip and almost fall.
Of course.
In this house, the living room, there is a big hole that leads directly into a basement. I almost fall into that hole and fall into the basement, which then I would have been screaming my fucking as I like.
How big of a drop is this? How big of a drop?
It's at least 10 feet.
Ooh,
which is weird because most basements are maybe 6 to 7 feet.
Yeah, that's a big. Yeah, that's high.
So we're there. We start walking forward. As we're walking, and of course, I'm still first. I have my light flashed in there, and I keep seeing the shadow moving in front. No one else has a light on behind. There is nothing blocking my view. I'm literally shining it at the kitchen area. I'm in the living room. People are still holding behind me. I have the fucking person behind me. I think it might have been Tyler, my brother, holding my shoulder and then also cupping my balls because I am the alpha out of the group, and that's what alphas do. You know, the betas cup the balls of the alpha, just like, you know, gorillas or primates.
That's pretty standard
He's cupping my balls as we walk forward, and I have the light flash forward, and and I'm seeing this figure in the kitchen. Not a hourglass figure, but this tall, it's hard to describe. It was almost like a tall beanpole. You could see ahead, and I saw it for like 5 seconds. And I even said, like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? And then I just fucking booked it and left them all in the house without a flashlight. But when I walked away, I swear to God, I saw 2 like diamond eyes to the left of me, which was probably a bathroom, like a cat's eyes. But it was not a cat. It was not on the ground. It was eye level with me. And I left. And so I got more information on the house. I got it through the person that he had created this whole like map of haunted places in Michigan, Southeast Michigan. The Albrecht House was one of them. At the time, they were just calling it the 25 and Gratiot House. Well, I looked up more information. He gave me the info. This man had killed his family in the house and committed suicide by hanging himself in the room upstairs. Woo! I'm not even fucking kidding you. It scared the fucking shit out of me. The last time I went there, because what we would do is we would go to either Morrow Road, we would go to Albrecht House. We took these photos. We go back. We thought we were cool. I think we were using like fucking Paint or something, Microsoft Paint, to like expand the photo to see if there were. We're looking at this glass, and I swear to God, there was a face there, blah, blah, blah. And I told you guys before, and I still cannot find it. I think I know where it is, and it's in that fucking cobalt that I got rid of. So I took pictures while we were there. Every single picture had this smoke coming up out of it. It looked like the face of an old man. Every single photo that I took on a disposable camera. That's it. Just like the, with the flash.
That's your camera sound effects? That's pretty good. Oh, that's you. That's you winding it. I forgot you had to do that in the old cameras.
Yep.
The little wheel dial.
We got out of there, and I still, we drove by there again, and I think it was because there were so many kids breaking into that house that they tore it down. The only thing that was left was that fucking well. That was it.
Like from the Ring movie? Like that that kind of well?
At the time when we went, the Ring wasn't even out yet. It was literally the only time I felt like a presence, that malevolent presence, where I was just like, okay, I need to get the fuck out of here. I don't feel good.
I need to abandon my friends. I need to just save myself.
Man. It was like, you're pushing me forward. Kept saying, it's like, it's your idea. I'm like,
you're the alpha.
Wanted me to. Well, yeah. They were all putting their hands on my balls, and then I walked forward. But then after a certain point, the alpha was like, well, I'm going to fucking live so I can go and, procreate.
As an alpha does.
Yeah, as an alpha does. And I got the fuck out of there. Anywho, that's the story of the Albrecht House. But this old man character, and then I showed the picture to the dude that had put together this list online. And he said that this guy was an older man, mustache, beard, and I'm like, there was no, he had a picture, he showed it to me, and I was just kind of like, I couldn't tell if it was him or not, but there was something there that was following us the entire time. Every other place I've been to, I've never felt a presence. I felt a presence there. I've driven past it, I actually had my kids with me, and it was during the day. It was during the day.
Damn.
And I was taking them to their dentist appointment, but we were right there. I can't remember what's there now, but it's like a tractor place. So the well is gone too, but everything is kind of, gone. Further down the road from the Albrecht House is a place called the Tire Swing House. Ooh. Spooky. Well, to be honest, the Tire Swing House was spooky looking. The one thing that it had was that the tire swing would swing by itself even when the wind wasn't blowing. That wasn't true. Every time the tire swung, it was because the wind was blowing. It was an abandoned house. We did a little B&E, and
it's abandoned. It's just trespassing.
Yeah, we went in there. We started looking around. It did have a pole barn, like an old barn. We went in there. Nothing too special. The one thing that was kind of really off-putting and weird, and I ended up keeping it for a little bit, at the house, and I got rid of it because my mom found out. She wanted it gone. It was a picture of a mother and a baby, and they were looking in a mirror, and the mother's mouth was wide open and her eyes were out like that. But everyone was like, oh, this is so creepy. And I'm like, is this a fucking mom playing with her baby? That's all it is.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
I thought she was like literally holding her baby while looking directly into the camera with her eyes bulged and her mouth agaped. Just, while holding her baby. Like, get me out of here.
It was just, she was holding it up like this, you know, like how you hold a baby. Like
and looking at the baby.
No, not looking in the mirror like that.
Was it in black and white?
No, it was not. It was in color. It was like from the 80s. So someone had
that would have made
there,
it spookier. Yeah.
And then they had abandoned the house. We don't know what happened. There was no real story behind it. And even the person that put it up there said it was like, okay, so Michigan is one of the most haunted places in the United States.
Yes.
So much shit has gone down here. It is insane. So Tire Swing House was kind of whatever, but I digress. Like, it was just scary. If you were to go there, Don, you would be kind of freaked out. You'd be like, oh, man, this is kind of...
I'm not going there. See, that's your first mistake. You actually go to these haunted places, whereas I stay away from these haunted places. That's...
Oh, bro.
Yeah?
A couple years from now, you and I are going to go like on a vacation together, and you're not going to know where we're going, and it's going to be a fucking haunted place.
This is going to be like a movie where I was like, oh, this place is so cheap. I wonder why there's nobody else in this place.
And then all of a sudden my face just turns like, Dawn, I brought you here to experience pure terror.
So when are we going to eat? Where's the weed?
Well, I think there's a Del Taco down the street. We could get some burgers and tacos.
So your ghostly presence is just like giving me like food options. And I'm just like, I'm okay with it. Who cares that you're floating right now?
There's a Chick-fil-A also 3 blocks west, but I don't like going there because they are homophobic.
I like this idea of ghost GPS voice. Like,
also a CVS where you could get drinks, Gatorades, and whatnot.
Can you ask Alexa to do that voice? Hey, Alexa, can you do the ghost voice? And that'd be great. Like, you can wake up your kids with that.
Wake up. Wake up.
And then it says, by the way, what do you rate this app?
Please rate my ghost app.
Do you want to buy more from the Apple Store? Your bill is past due. Ooh.
Get 30% off your Comcast bill.
Do you know you could save 20% if you switch to this?
Switch to Geico. So now going forward, there was another place. And these are places that I knew. And there's a couple that I'm going to talk about that I haven't been to that I want to visit that are in Michigan. And this is for all you people living in California, living East Coast, West Coast, in the middle. You know, you got scary places there, but you don't got Michigan fucking scary. There was an asylum. All these places, too, weirdly enough, 24 mile, 25 mile, 27 mile. They were all around each other. There was so much shit that went on in the Macomb area, Romeo area. You know, I don't know if it was like Native Americans living there at the time or Native American cemetery.
Sacred
Native
land?
Burial
Is that
ground.
what they're called?
Sacred land.
Oh,
Sacred
I said
land.
it right?
Yes. Woo! Well, it's just sacred land. There was an asylum at 24 and Card in the forest. So I had gone out there with a few friends. I had been told multiple times that there was a massive building on 24 and Card. I had looked it up constantly. I don't know if it was Google Maps, but it was some type of map. That might have been MapQuest to get an aerial photo. The area at the time, looking at the photo, was blurred. It was just a blurred area. There weren't any trees there. It was just blurred. We went in there, and a lot of the time, kids would get arrested, would get taken out. You would hear people in high school being like, yeah, I went there. You know, there's a light swinging back and forth in the building. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So there is a building out there. We can go to it. Yeah, man, there's a building. And I'm like, okay, so there's a building out there. Let's go out there and take a look. Let's get some cameras, get like glow sticks, you know, teams of 2. And one person in the van kind of directing us as to where to go. So a friend of mine was in a van directing us as to where to go. We had glow sticks. We went at night or kind of like right sundown. So we're going down. All we see, there's no building there, but there is a foundation. There was something there at one time. foundation of a building, a compound. So supposedly this is where this asylum was. There was no fucking light or anything like that. But I was kind of like, well, was this an asylum, or maybe this was just a house or something that got torn down, or some type of building that got torn down on 24 Mile. And this is in Michigan, 24 Mile. I think it's Macomb County, Trump country. And you go 24 Mile and Card. There is a cemetery there. The cemetery looks like it has been there a while. None of the graves are marked. That was the other thing. None of these graves were marked. I actually filmed my first student film. I filmed in that cemetery because it was just so fucking
Did
creepy.
I see that?
No, we didn't know each other yet.
Oh, good.
I might have shown it to you, but it was the zombie love story. I did the zombie love story movie.
I don't remember that.
Okay, so I think my mom has a copy of it, so if she does, I'll get it and I'll play it for you, because this cemetery was so fucking creepy. So creepy. And this actually leads into the next place that I was going to talk about. The reason why I'm talking about the places that I went to, I'm fascinated with lore. I'm fascinated with stories, like the Native American stories that came out at like different times, skinwalkers, all this shit. And so to me, this lore was like, it scared us. It got us going in high school because I didn't have anything. Like I video games and shit like that. But this was my bread and butter. I fucking loved anything paranormal, anything that could scare the shit out of me that was real life. And then as I got older and I lived in Detroit and I got a gun to my head, getting jumped multiple times and getting almost knocked out by a crackhead, I don't really like getting scared that much anymore.
That's not funny.
I can laugh at it now because I'm here.
You survived.
Yeah. So, yep, I'm good.
No.
So we went to this place. I remember one time I brought a bunch of people here. It's like, all it is just fucking foundation. You guys want to go out there? I'll take you out there. All these people that were coming up there. Look, we brought like a couple girls. There were a couple guys there, and one fucking dude, I won't mention his name, but this guy was like, oh, I'm not scared of this. I'm not scared. And as soon as the cops come, he starts shitting bricks like a little bitch. I go up to him and is like, officers, I didn't mean for this to get out of hand. Like, I walk through these woods all the time. Now, if it is someone's, property, I won't go in here. But as far as I knew, it's state land. It's like, well, where you're entering from, that is someone's property. So you can't do that. That would be trespassing. So don't tell me that you're doing that because I'll have to give you a ticket. And I'm like, okay, officer, not a big deal. Just calm down, bro. And then he proceeded to beat the fuck out of me.
That's what would have happened to me. Shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Don was with me, like wait, wait.
He's robbing you. Pop, pop. God damn.
Oh god. So we go back there, and I don't even think it exists anymore. So we ended up parking. I think we went. Let's see if that was 24 Mile. We went down Card. I think it was Heinrich, or it was Card that we went down, and we entered through there. It was just a chop shop or something, like a garage, and that's where we parked the van, and we entered through there.
Was it down by the river?
The van down by the river. There's a low hanging fruit.
Sorry, a little slow.
So, the only thing I ever saw were lights. There were lights out there. I couldn't explain what they were. Could not explain. To this day, I could not explain what these lights were. They could have been other people out there. Could have been flashlights, but a lot of the time they just stayed there. And I'm like, oh, it could be lights to a house. But then every so often, they would move. Couldn't explain to you what I saw that day. I don't know. That's the asylum there. What jumps into the next one was the Butcher House in downtown Utica.
Okay.
It no longer exists there. It's now an apartment complex. But in downtown Utica, off of what we call Hall Road, also Macomb County, M59, I think you know what it is. You've driven down there before when you came to my house.
Yeah.
So, how this story pertains to the asylum story, I had friends in high school that were the death metal kids. We called them the death metal kids. Other kids probably called them stoners. I was just like, they were my friends for a little bit. We played Halo. We'd have Halo tournaments all the time. So everyone would come over. We get pizza. We just hang out and fucking play video games. Well, I come to find out that in high school around, I think it was our junior year or sophomore year, I had heard something about some dead cows getting hung in trees. Yeah.
So what? Well, like a young cow?
This butcher house had been shut down for a while. These cows had been there for at least 5 years, just rotting. Okay, so the butcher house, people would go in there, they would feel uncomfortable, and it was like you could smell iron, which was like blood and whatnot.
Yeah.
So in a sense, there was a story behind it, that there was a butcher in there, that if you go in there, he would cut you up and whatnot. Some big fat bastard covered in blood and had a pig's head. It's basically what they said. So this is why I talk about this stuff, because I love lore. I just love spooky shit like this. So these kids go in there, they grab all this meat, they throw it in a truck or a van. It was probably one of their vans. Some of the shit that these guys did was disgusting. And this was one of the things where they wrapped these carcasses and hung them to these trees in the cemetery that I was talking about. The cops ended up getting called, and these cow carcasses just hanging on the trees. People were driving by and seeing what looked like dead bodies hanging in the trees. Still, honestly, I have to say, is one of the coolest fucking things ever. I'm a gore fan. I know it's weird, but the fact that they were able to do this and get away with it, but at the same time, to see that, to drive by and not know what happened, you're seeing that, spooky and scary as fuck. And then soon after that, they closed the butcher house. They put a camera in there. So the one time that I had gone in there, you smell this blood, I saw a red light all the way down a hallway. And I had put my balaclava on, my mask, and I walked forward before anyone else moved forward. And I'm like, hey, it's a camera. Let's get the fuck out of here. Like, they're taping us right now. The fucking cops are going to come. And sure as shit, they came, but we had already left. We had parked down like at least 3 blocks and took off the balaclava, threw it away, threw out the gloves, everything, and fucking skedaddled. Luckily, we had a friend that lived a couple blocks further. We should have just walked from his house, but then they would have seen a group of kids just walking. So we each got into 2 cars and we drove away. But the story of the cow carcasses on the
professional.
trees. Oh, dude, man, anything we did when it came to this shit, I did not want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught because then you get caught and you get caught again, start getting a name, and then they're going to be watching you. They think you're a troublemaker or whatnot, especially in that area. Once you're labeled a troublemaker, you're a troublemaker in Macomb for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter. That's just what they do there. So, and just to touch on a couple more places, and these are places that I want to go to, but Trowbridge, I don't know if you've ever heard of Trowbridge in Bloomfield Hills. I think it's got to be close to, is it West Bloomfield or Bloomfield Hills? Trowbridge. So the story is that it's a ghost bridge, a lot of suicides, and actually a lot of those suicides have happened on that bridge. And what you can hear are kids beneath the bridge. Kids or people, what it sounds like people, or splashes in the water that are out of nowhere. I have never been there. From what I understand, you can feel a presence there. You can feel something, not malevolent, but it's like a sadness, and you get like the hairs on the back of your neck fucking stand up. That's what I've been told by friends that were doing, because we did this shit for at least, even after high school, I did it for like 10 years. I got kicked out of the ghost hunting group because I was doing too many B&Es. I was really good at it, breaking and entering. To be honest, all you have to do is kick down a fucking door. Like, that's it. Or if
these are abandoned places. These are like...
most of them were abandoned. No one was there. Yeah. The other place that I was going to talk about, Holly Hotel. You've heard of Holly Hotel, right?
No.
So it's in Holly. It's supposedly by far one of the most haunted places in Michigan. I can't remember. There are a couple different ghosts that live there. The one in particular is, I believe it's a woman that's there. You can't stay there, but it's basically like people go there. It's older fucking, women with their witch hats on, like, ooh, spooky. Let's go get brunch. Let's go get avocado toast at Holly Hotel.
It was just an IHOP?
Sipping tea. Yeah, it's an IHOP that's old as shit. But recently, it burned down.
Ooh.
So now they're going to rebuild. And my whole thing is, like, if most of it burned down, you really can't say that it's haunted. You're replacing shit on there. As soon as you do that, those spirits are fucking gone. They're gone. 100% you are not going to have another experience in that place. And it's sad because I really wanted to go there. And, you know, you have these ghost hunter shows that go there like, what was that? What was that? Did you hear
watch
that?
those
and
shows?
It's just, yeah, of course. And then it's just like a fucking squirrel running by that just like fucking does I don't know, like a peanut fart. He said, hello. He said, hello. Did you feel that? It just tickled my balls.
People get paid to do that show. We could do that.
I would love to do that.
I
Just
can
to
pretend
yell
like I'm scared. Life is scary enough. Do we need ghosts too? Jeez.
Fuck, the paranormal to me is so interesting, but some of these places the one, the Albrecht House, where I felt a malevolent presence, an evil presence, I still don't know if I saw what I saw or if my eyes were playing tricks on me.
Were you in Jazzland at all?
I wasn't. I didn't do anything at that time. I barely drank.
Sober experience.
I was smoking cigarettes, but other than that, and there was no stress in my life either. So my whole thing was like, what did I see that night at the Albrecht House? And I honestly couldn't tell you. It did not seem great, is what I'll say.
That's a good summary of everything.
Yeah,
it did not.
But
seem
like there
great.
were different TV shows that went to the Holly Hotel looking for these ghosts, and it's the same fucking thing. If you ever watch these shows, it's the same fucking thing over and over again. It's like, did you hear that? Did you hear that? What did he say? Did he say, ooh, spooky? No, I said I haven't taken a shit in a decade, and I haven't gotten a ghost colonic in forever. So, real quick, before we get into your story,
I only got two.
Michigan Bell Telephone Company. I don't even know if it still exists. I looked into this, but it's in Grand Rapids. It is extremely haunted from what I understand, and you can hear people fighting throughout the halls. The story behind it is that a man and his wife were in this building. Before it was a building, it might have been a house or some land. He beat her to death with his wooden leg. And then because he was afraid of what was going to happen to him after her death, he killed himself. Not by jumping off of anything, not by choking himself to death, but by slitting his throat. It's pretty fucking brutal.
He slit his own throat.
He slit his own throat. Spooky.
Just dumb. Like, you couldn't go for a risk? Well, I guess that is faster if you do the juggler, but...
The juggler?
Hey, at least I didn't say jaguar or some crazy shit. It's
the jaguar?
What is it? Juggler?
The jagular? The jugular?
What did I say? The juggler?
You said the juggler.
Jugular.
So those are pretty much my stories. You know, everyone is like, Mackinac Island is haunted too. And I'm like, cool. There's a bunch of fucking... It's what?
No, fucking high-ass prices for some stupid-ass fudge.
Yeah, exactly.
Spooky.
That's why everyone calls them fudgies. And that is a term. That is not a derogatory term towards anyone. They're literally called
against
fudgies.
Fudge. Yeah.
It's just
anti-fudge.
They want to think that, oh, yeah, we belong up here. They're like, no, they don't. You could tell right by that person's fucking eyebrows and how close they are together by getting that whatever the fucking shit that they do, or tattoos or whatever dumb shit. Anywho.
You guys are fudgenites.
Yep.
Ooh, scary.
Hey guys, if you like to see us in the flesh, we have video highlights of our episodes we release on every Wednesday before the new episode that comes out Friday. As always, you can catch this podcast on any major platform you listen to podcasts. Please make sure to rate us 5 stars and comment on how you're liking the show. After School Special Podcast.
It's this lady and she's like, hi, welcome to my vagina.
After School Special Podcast.
What robot pet starts out speaking a unique language, but eventually speaks English? Gloopy? The fuck is a gloopy?
Podcast comes out every Friday.
I didn't have a lot of experiences because I did not try to pay attention to those type of things. But I will say, when I was a kid, I lived alone with my mom. We were relatively new at this place that we ended up staying at for 20 years. It was a 2-family flat in Detroit. Like the first year I was living there, I was around 8, 9 years old. Still pretty afraid of the dark. Like, were you afraid of the dark?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm afraid of dying, man. And what comes dying is dark.
But you're not thinking of
forever dark.
Are you
Forever
thinking of
dark.
dying when you were a kid? Because I was just afraid of the dark, of the unknown, now.
Yeah.
The unknown, monsters.
Yeah.
Getting attacked, being taken away from my family. And my mom, for some reason, we just came from Northland. If you live in Detroit, and I know we got some Detroit listeners or listener, but we used to take the bus. We had this great day. We went shopping, and we rarely went shopping at malls because we just didn't have the money. But it might have been around tax time. And tax time is usually around my birthday. So I think at this particular time, my mom just spoiled me for one day. And I got like this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. It's the one with the van that spits out pizza. And I got this character called Joe Eyeball, which was mentioned in John's last episode. Check it out. The Animanimals.
The Mighty Mutanimals.
There you go. The Mighty Mutanimals. I said the Manimals. Anyway, so I was feeling good. But all throughout that time, throughout the mall, I was drinking just gallons of pop. Gallons of pop. So as a kid, you don't think about that. You just think about, oh, I'm going to play the hell out of these toys when I get home. Oh, I can't wait. I got this to add to my collection. I got the pizza van that spits out the pizza on top of the roof. And I got Joe Eyeball. He's going to go against the turtles. So we get home after like an hour and a half ride from Northland Mall in Detroit, or Southfield. Northland Mall in Southfield back to where we lived at the time. So like I said, I'm around 8, 9, still scared of the dark. We get back to our place. It's dark. And for some reason, my mom was like, yo, I got to leave real quick. I got to either go to the store or something, which is just walking distance. But like I said, I was drinking gallons of pop, having a good old time, picking out toys at the mall. So if we get home, it's just like, okay, I'm going to drop you off right here. I'm just go up the street, go to the store. She walks. At that time, usually before my mom would leave, I would turn on all the lights throughout the house. So if she left, I wouldn't be afraid of going into certain rooms. But I didn't do that this time because I was just so happy to be playing these freaking new toys. So I'm in the living room, but in the back, like all the lights in the back, that's the bathroom, my bedroom, my mom's bedroom, the kitchen, etc., etc. So she leaves. And it just dawned on me as I'm playing with my new toys, like, oh my God, I have to pee and it's really bad. And I have to go back to the bathroom, which is just shrouded in darkness. And I'm alone. And I'm like, holy shit. And I started hearing things like ding, 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 ding. Like, I'm like, what the hell is that? So I stopped playing my toy and I just started pacing like, oh my God, I really gotta pee. What do I do? I'm looking back there. It's completely dark. And it sounds like something's coming out of the darkness. So I said, I got two options. Either I'm going to pee my pants and just let it rip. Now thinking back on it as I talk, I don't know why I just didn't go outside and just peed in the bush. But then again,
I've done that before.
But then again, it's still dark outside. Because remember, it's nighttime. So yeah, I guess I couldn't have done that. So it was like surrounded by darkness except for the living room that had the TV. Yeah. So it was either pee my pants or just run as fast as I could to the bathroom and just face the darkness. And I just remember like, fuck it. I just peed everywhere on the living room, on the TV. Oh, no, I'm kidding. I didn't do that.
Oh, God damn, man.
No, I thought I saw something, but I admit, God damn it. I was like, fuck. I hyped myself up as much as I could as a kid. And I just ran back there. And I got to the bathroom because my plan was get to the switch as fast as I can before I get caught. So that's what I did. I ran so fucking fast. Like, put on that light, and man, I didn't even wait to like see if a damn ghost is in there. I flipped up that damn lid and just let it rip. I was like, oh my God. It had been hours and hours, but I think that was the last time I was truly afraid of the dark, because after that, I played like games in the dark. I didn't care anymore. It wasn't until last night, as a 38-year-old man, and this is my second story, where I got this bright idea to go into Jazzland. It was like a week before I did it again, because Jazzland, as you know, for the people who listen to this show, is getting high on edibles, or getting high. I don't know, whatever you
getting fucking high on some weed. Which, I'll be honest with you, the best way to listen to this podcast is by getting.
Yeah. I talk a lot faster when you get high, or no, is it slower? I don't know.
I don't know. People say I have a very sexy voice when they're listening when they're so. No,
I say that.
It's not doing it for you. Ain't getting your dick
No.
hurt. All right, let's get going.
Well, it had been a week. I was like, man, I'm tired. I just want to just lay here and watch some unsolved mysteries. And the best way to do that, the new one.
Yes.
Did you see the new one?
I did.
Yeah. For people who listen to the show and like unsolved mysteries, I don't want to give exactly away, but 2 of the stories in this season is Michigan based.
I'm gonna cut you off right there. Your story.
Oh, this is leading into the story.
Oh, it's leading
because I'm watching last night, getting into Jazzland. So that's two episodes where I'm like, ooh, this is a good season on Unsolved Mystery. This is good. I'm starting to feel the jazz. I'm starting to like, ooh. Damn, man.
And, what is it? Fucking John Coltrane in the background.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little freaked out. But the one that sent me over the edge was the third one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man. Like we said, it's 2 stories that are based off Michigan. And the thing about it, the third story is pretty cut and clear. Like, okay, ain't really no mystery. The mystery is the person allegedly who might have done these crimes. The mystery is, where is that person? Because what happened was this person allegedly murdered this person that's in that episode, and then the police capture this person, but then they let that person go because they don't have enough evidence at the time. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like melting into the couch right now. And I'm like, the person that got murdered in this episode, he looks kind of familiar. I'm like, damn, man, did I go to school with this person? Because they did say he's from Detroit. I'm like, wow. I'm just like, I'm heartbroken. This is a sad ass story, and he's from Detroit. I was like, I could have known this guy. And it turns out when I looked this person up, I do have a mutual friend. I'm like, ooh, shit. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, that's not the thing that fucks me up. What happened was I turned off all the lights because, like I said, I don't really get, life is scary enough. I told you, Aaron, if a ghost try to fuck with me, I'll beat a ghost's ass. I'll beat Patrick Swayze's ass. But last night, it did not go that way. As I'm watching this third episode with the man from Detroit, spoiler alert, his girlfriend killed him and then chopped him up and then left him.
So you started looking at Emily after?
Hold on. Hold on. So my wife isn't in the room with me. She's sound asleep in our room. I'm by myself in this house, all the lights off, just the light of the TV. Just keep that in mind. Just the light of the TV. It's like around 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm engaged in this because it's a very rare TV events where I don't look at my phone at some time, but this is the time where I just didn't do it. So they get to the part in this one, it's like towards the end. I don't know if you remember this, but it's the part where they were like, the family of the murdered person that was like, yeah, so we were sad, but when they said that they caught this lady who killed our brother, we at least felt like we had some closure. We were like, okay, we're sad, but at least justice is going to be served. They got her. And then the next scene is, but we let her go. The person representing the police force, he kind of gave this flimsy excuse of why they did. But the part that fucked me up, because my tension is going up like, oh my God, man, this is horrible. This is all internal. because I'm by myself. But the part where they were like, and then she disappeared and nobody knows where she is. My fucking TV completely turned off. And I was just in the dark. I'm like, what the fuck? I almost had a heart attack. I'm like, oh, shit.
I thought you were going to say something like, and the spookiest thing is that the justice system doesn't work.
No. Because all I heard was the TV said, cling, and the light went off. And then I heard shit in the background like, I was like, oh my God. So before this story, if I would have told you if a ghost was in my house, I'd just start swinging. What do you think I did? What do you think I did?
You curled up in a ball.
Hell yeah, dude. I was like, what the fuck? Like a little bitch. I had my knees to my chin. I was like, oh my God, why did I get high right now?
Just started farting out of fear.
Yeah. And no, seriously. And then it was like, okay, I got two options, which the first one is get my phone. So I scrambled to my phone and I just started like waving the phone because I turned on the light and I started like going around the room trying to locate that sound until I located it. And of course it was my stupid ass cat. And then I'm like, all right, bet. And then I just remember being paralyzed with just fear and weed and just like,
Jesus.
Then I'm like, wait a minute, is Emily out here? Like, is my wife trying to take me out? So I just remember running, just like I said when I was a little kid, running to the bathroom. I ran, well, okay, light jog to my bedroom just to see if my wife was okay. And of course, she was just knocked the fuck out. But I tried to like, you know how you do something. You come to bed, you're not trying to wake a person up, but sometimes you just want to touch them just to make sure they're alive. So I like kind of touched my, just to see if I
touched your what?
Touch my wife on the shoulder, just, so I can see her move. She didn't move. And I'm like, okay. Usually you get a move, right? But, I'm high. You get a move. So I'm like, fuck this, dude. I might have to abandon her. So I like go back into the living room. I turn on the TV and it didn't come on right away, but it finally came on. But I thought I saw something. I thought I saw something in the darkness. I just thought I did. And it wasn't the cat. And it was like, it felt like somebody was trying to fuck with me. And yeah, I take it back. I guess there might be. Nah, ain't no motherfucking ghost. What am I saying? This is dumb. No, it wasn't a ghost. It was the house. It was settling. That's my story. There was no ghost. You're welcome.
You never know, though. It's these spirits. They usually they get attached to things, either objects or houses. But yeah, it's a lot of fucking spooky shit that happens around here. So I don't know if you want, like, say the spookiest movie you ever seen. Like, one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, or any of the scary movies I've seen, have always been documentaries because the shit's real.
Yes. What used to scare me as a kid, it wasn't really the ghost movies. We're telling ghost stories now, but that's like a handful of times where I felt like, ooh, maybe that was something else. But the shit that scared me was movies like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, like shit like that I saw every day. Or it seemed like every day when I used to live. It was like, damn, that could be me that goes out on the street and minding my own business and catch a stray bullet or get caught in a gang war. Like, that shit used to scare me, like real life stuff. But I kind of wish I was afforded that wonderment of being a kid and just being afraid of ghosts. Because at least I guess, that was some child stuff. But it was like, no, we were kind of worried about adult things in Detroit, which is kind of sad. I didn't want to think about poverty and murders and rape and stuff.
Well, see, that's where it's like I grew up in a fucking affluent suburb and I could
There's no shame in that. You can't help what you're born into, where you're born.
Ashamed of being rich and white, baby.
I wouldn't. Shit, I'm born rich and white, but you goddamn rich and white. But hey.
Well, no, now I'm poor, so it doesn't fucking matter.
See, full circle. As you
but that, ladies and gentlemen, ends spooky season, which wasn't really too spooky for us. We wanted to get at least one spooky session because we didn't really do it last time.
That was a good session. My story's a little whack.
No, your story ain't whack. Your story's real, which is even more terrifying.
It was.
Yeah. And that's some scary shit.
I had to pee.
Yeah. You had to pee.
That is scary. Holding it in.
I fucking got an impacted fucking butthole one time. And that's scary. You can't poop because it's stuck.
Yeah.
Spooky season. Digestion problems, middle age.
Ooh, death.
Well, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, I'll talk normal now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember to link in the description for the voice messaging. Leave us a message. Tell us what's up. Make fun of us. Tell us how beautiful we are. I don't know. We just want to hear from you. And even if it's someone making fun, we're going to put you on. I don't care. Unless it's, like I said, you're implicating yourself in a crime. We're not going to do that. We're not going to put you on. Okay?
And I would like to add, on our last show, our last episode, which was the show changes episode, we didn't clarify enough, I don't think. Staffman is still a part of the show, but what he's doing and what you're probably noticing, he's doing his underbelly episodes because the schedules of the hosts are a little different right now, and he's going to school, as he said in those episodes. So he's doing it to add more content for the show for our listeners, or you listening, or whoever's listening to us right now, that goes deeper into nostalgia. And what our silly asses are going to do is more on the comedic side, but with nostalgia. But it's all basically to give the listener more content, but more choices as far as, do you want to go more deeper into nostalgia, or do you want more of the jokes? It's like you get a bit of both. You can listen to both while you're at work, while you're ignoring your kids, or whatever you do. So yeah. Staffman, still part of the show, but he's doing extra content because the schedules have changed because we're adults. Bobbity bloop, bloopity bloop. But I'm sure he'll be back, like we said, at some point. But changes, we got a new voicemail, we got more content. Like I said, Staffman does it basically at his leisure when he can. So kudos to him, and thanks for listening. After School Special Podcast.com is our website. After School SPE3 on Twitter. After School Special Podcast on Instagram. We're on TikTok. I still can't remember the tag for that, but we're on there. All our links.
Just type in After School Special Podcast and you'll find it. And don't forget, it is spooky season. Be careful out there. We got Devil's Night coming up at Detroit. Devil's Night. Well, Angel's Night. And they fucking, got all Christian with it. Anywho, happy Halloween. Ooh. Spooky. I have digestion issues. I have to use the bathroom. Bye.
Inflation. Ooh.
Oh, that is fucking terrifying.
Stock market crash. Ooh.
Complete dissolving of banks and actual monetary systems.
People who don't put their turn signals when they turn lanes. Ooh.
Usually, I'll be honest with you, it's black people.
Hey everyone, it's Aaron from After School Special Podcast. Like what you hear so far? But don't forget to subscribe and download the show on whatever platform